Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new process video, and I'm actually continuing on from a video I just did. I'm working on photos from Chicago in November 2025. This is from the Garfield Park Conservatory, and I already had all of my floral stuff out from the previous layout, so I thought, you know what, rather than put it away, take it out again another day, I'm just going to do it now. So I'm continuing on here, but I do remember I have a somewhat unique situation here. I couldn't decide if I wanted to use this in a flip or do it as its own insert, like a 3x4 in between somehow, because there's yellow in here which matches what I've got going. But then I've got kind of this peachy coral color which sort of matches this. And so I thought, well, what if I did like a card on this side and then this here, rather than a flip? I certainly could do a flip. I could either put it here to like bring it all together, or if I wanted to keep it somewhat hidden, I could do this and focus on the yellow. I'm not sure. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of leave this for a little bit and focus on the right hand side. Clearly I have done a digital layout here, and this one worked out very well. I actually cut this one correctly, so that's nice. And then I've got this lovely border here. I did my journaling already in there, so that's great. I have something I can put in here, either a sticker, phrase. I could stamp in there potentially too. Could always do that. I have stays on ink, so that's not a problem. But I need to fill this with something, and that has to be something floral, but deserty. And I do know that in my floral bin, I have some desert stickers. I don't exactly remember what they are. I think one of them is all cactus. And I feel like I may have used it all. I had a sheet of stickers that were all like succulents. I think I maybe used all that because I did some other layouts like from New Mexico where I used some of those. I'm not sure. I need to dig through the bin and see what's still in there. I found the stickers. I was right. I did have a sheet that were all cactus, so I could certainly use one of those, maybe one of these to fill up that space because they're a little bit smaller and wider. These are probably a little too tall. Actually, this one might be okay. Yeah, that would probably fit. But then I did still have these. I didn't use them all. So, I don't know. I could just pick one of these. It's kind of like this, where I have, these two are the same. They're just different sizes. These two are similar, but they're different sizes. So, kind of like this one. I like these actually, even though they're cactus, but they're too big. I'd have to cut part of this off, I think. And I don't know that I like this turquoise in there. You know what? No, I think it's just going to be this one. Before I just spend too much time thinking about it, let's do it. I'm going to take off this bigger, the larger one. If I can get it off of there. Come on. Ooh. Oh my gosh, it does not want to come off of there. I will get it off of there. Oh, that was a chore. I did finally manage to peel it off of there. And the only thing I'm noticing is it's like super bright green compared to these. Now, does it match better with this? Absolutely. So when they're side by side, it probably won't bother me. But if I do end up putting something in the middle, then I don't know. Because then you won't see that directly on the left side. So I'm not sure about that, but I'm still going to use this. So let's put it on there. So we'll go pretty much right in the middle, or as close to that as I can. Yep, there we go. All right. Then I have to figure out, what am I doing with this space? With those stickers I had out, there were some phrases in there that were black and white. Those would work very nicely, I think. I just don't remember what they say. So I'm going to grab those and we'll look at them. So I just realized I pulled the stickers out and I have those, but I was looking at this. I realized I didn't put any punctuation there. I could add it in, I suppose, but the English major in me hates it that I didn't do any kind of punctuation there. We'll see. That's a future me problem. Here are the stickers that I had. So I didn't remember what they said. Clearly some of these are meant more for maybe thank you cards or generic cards that you would send rather than scrapping. But Trying to look, would any of these work here? Grateful for Today might, if I cut off this part, like that might fit in there. I could do Remember This. That's kind of generic. Does that fit? Oh yeah, that would be fine too. I would actually probably cut it down a little bit and then maybe put in some staples. I've decided to go with the one that says Remember This, and I'm actually not going to cut it down. When you look at it here, it's actually spaced quite nicely. So I think I kind of want to center this. I don't want to push down on it till I'm sure my placement is good. Does that look good? It's mostly centered, I think. Got maybe a little bit more on this side, but you know what? That's okay. So I have that. Then I can put in kind of staples towards the end of the white section of the label there, both sides. How's that look? Yeah, I like that. Okay. This side is basically done then, unless I decide that I'm going to put a tiny, tiny little period on the end of that sentence. But in terms of embellishing, it's done. Now I have to figure out, what am I doing on this side? I'm just torn. I think it's this color, this background that's tripping me up because it feels like it doesn't go with a whole lot here. I mean, it does go with this. Do I want an insert or do I just want this? I do have a photo flip at the ready because I made extras. I made more than one when I made the last one, so I do have it. I could do it. An insert's kind of fun though, because you don't see those all the time. I'm gonna go off camera and think about it, and then I'll make my final decision. To help me make my decision, I actually looked at the next like 5 layouts. What do I think I might do? I think probably in the next 2 layouts, I'm not sure if it's gonna be the next one after this or one more, I'm going to have a flip. So I would have 2 very close together. Not that that's bad, really, but I kind of like the idea of having an insert instead because of that, just to mix things up a little bit. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. So these 2 will end up being their own side. This is gonna face this way, which means I need a card for the back of this. So I have to go into my stuff and find that. I do have some floral gardeny things, I think, that are more green based, so that might work. I would also be open to something yellow. I don't know that I have a whole lot of yellow in there, but I can look. I may actually have something in my fall stuff because it's a mix of kind of yellow, orange, red, green, like those really traditional fall colors, but we'll see what I find. I looked through the sticker sheet that had this. There's nothing else from there that I want to put on here, or at least not that jumped out at me right now. I also looked in that sticker book that I had that was kind of green, black and white and pink. None of the phrases that were in green or white with green writing worked either, so those are out. So I don't know what I'm going to do there, but I did find the card that I want to use. And it was in my fall stuff, not my garden stuff. It's this one. This is the other side, which could have been acceptable too if I needed to journal, but I don't. So I'm going to use this side. And I may cover this part up that says chapter 11 of 12, because it's almost like it's made for Project Life or something where you're doing it monthly, which I don't want. But I could leave it and it would be like, it would be fine. I don't think it would bother me long term. The only thing is this is navy, which doesn't really show up here at all, but I think it looks okay. I don't think it's like super distracting. And then this would be on the other side and it would sit in the album like that, which I love. So I think I've got it. So I do need to put these together. This one will need an attacher, I think, because I think it just wouldn't turn well if I tried to just put holes in it here because it's so small. Plus I'd have to really go into this. I'd probably nick off part of the end there, which I don't really want. So I think it's going to be an attacher, which I don't know where those are. I thought I had the smaller ones on my desk, and now that I'm looking around, I don't see them, but I'll get one. I found my attachers. So here is what they look like. This is a half size one. I also have ones that work, you know, for a full 8-inch long page, but I like these. Yes, I could just buy the big ones and cut them in half if I really wanted to, but why create extra work? So I do have packages. I almost said a package. No, let's not lie. I have 2 of these. 2 packages of these. So you just peel off the adhesive and then you attach it to the photo. And they're a little bit longer than a 3x4 photo. So I tend to just line up from the bottom. And then I only have to, gotta make sure you get it lined up right. And then I only have to cut off from the top one section rather than completely center it, and I'm cutting off at both ends. But you could do it however you want. All right, remember when I said there were no phrases on those other stickers that I liked or that I thought I would use? I've changed my mind. So here they are. I think I'm going to use this one that says you are exactly where you belong and cover up that chapter 11 of 12. Just need to see how long it is. Yeah, it's a little too long. I'm going to cut off the ends on both sides to shorten it up a little bit, but then I will attach it. Well, guys, I made a mistake. I cut this off without measuring or looking to see how long it was, and now it's too short. It doesn't cover that up, so I'm not going to use it there. But I'll move it over and use it here instead. And because this is lighter, I feel like it should go here where it's darker. So do I want it here or up here? Let's see. These are kind of close together, then probably down here. And I don't want to cover up where it says Yellow Tower. That's the name of this. So I'll go pretty low. And maybe do it like that. Yeah, that's not bad. Now, of course, because I cut it like that, I don't have room for staples, which is fine. It'll just sit like that. And actually, that might be all I do here because these are beautiful. I really want those to be the center of attention. So I don't even know that I need to do anything else over here. If I did anything, it might be like some ink splattering with some white. But I don't even know that it needs that. I decided I am leaving that alone. And then I found another phrase. I had mentioned maybe doing just grateful for today and cutting off the rest of this. I am going to do that. So I'm going to get as close as I can. Get rid of that. And then I could do it this way. Oh, but you know what? I already glued those down, so I can't do a staple through it. You know what? Then I'm cutting it all the way up here too. Get it as close as I can. Make sure I have it going the right way. I don't want it on this side because these are close to each other, so I'll put it on the left side. Make sure that's straight. There we go. All right, and you know what? I think this one is done. So it'll sit like this. And this will flip over and those will be next to each other. Yeah, that's it. So here's another one done for Chicago. Thanks for watching.